I'm going to be giving my Premier League predictions. I need to do mine now before everyone else do theirs, because you know the season's about to start like I think next week, so I need to hop on the hop on the train very quickly. But yeah, dude, and I'm just gonna predict how the standings will look like by the end of the season, which I don't think I'm gonna get all of them correct, but I think I'm just gonna do like a little giveaway to one of y'all, which is technically, I don't know, I don't think I lose much. I do a giveaway to y'all. And no, I'm not capping. I actually will do a giveaway. It'll be some money. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do if I don't get 10 correct. But if I do get 10 correct, when we look back at this on May, then I guess I'm just a predictor. But I don't think that's what they call people who predict the future. Anyways, yeah, we're just gonna hop right straight into it. We're gonna start with number 20th. Alright, disclaimer before we start the prediction. By the way, I don't want no one getting upset at me, okay? It's my football opinion. I'm not going to be correct. We're not going to have the same opinions. It's a football opinion. Well, it's my football opinion. I just don't want no one getting mad. I mean, everyone's going to get mad regardless. I don't really give a shit, but I'm just saying. It's my football opinion, so calm your tits. So in 20th place, I'm going to say Luton Town because Luton Town actually are not a shit club, obviously. They're not shit. They did very well. Last season, they finished third in the championship. Obviously, they won the playoffs, which took them to the Premier League. They had 80 points. They were 11 points behind Sheffield United, who was in second. And first place, they were 21 points behind Burnley, who were exceptional that year. So I don't, and they're not, obviously, I'm not saying they're bad, but I'm just saying I just don't think Luton will have enough to stay in the Premier. I even think they're going to finish last, so, you know. No offense to Luton though. Hopefully they come back because it's been a while since I don't even know. I don't even think I was born when Luton was in the Premier. So yeah, we're gonna move on to 19th place. For 19th place, I went with Nottingham Forest, and the reason why I chose Forest is because last season I think they were very lucky to stay in the Prem. I think they were very lucky to stay in the Prem, and so I think this year they're not gonna get lucky. You can't get lucky, and you can't get lucky twice in 2 seasons. So I think they're gonna go down, and yeah, I mean, Forest obviously they did not. I mean, I'm pretty sure their fans don't. I think they enjoy. I think they even expect to get relegated this season. I could be wrong, but I don't see Forest staying for another season. For 18th place, I went with Everton. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I know you're probably wondering, you know, Everton's massive. They're not gonna go down. Nah, I mean, if we look back at the last 2 seasons, bro. They literally was lucky. Not lucky, but they've been in relegation battles. And I think this year they're not going to be able to fight it off. Now, obviously that's definitely a big blow because Everton are a big team. Big team. Even though right now they're not doing too good, but they're still a big team. But I think Everton's going to go down this year. And I mean, they might stay, but I see them going down this year. I don't think they're going to have enough to fight off. I don't know if Everton even signed any players to help them stay in the Prem for long, but I think they're going to go down. 17th place, I'm going to go with Sheffield United. And I know I just gave them compliments like a few minutes ago for being 10 points behind Burnley, who were exceptional. But I think the Premier League's a different ball game. And plus, they're going to lose James McAtee and I think Thomas Doyle. Those are youth academy players that Man City had loaned out to Sheffield. And I feel like if you lose like a couple of your best players, I don't think you're going to do too well, especially if you're someone like Sheffield. Those players are like vital for them. For 16th place, I went for Bournemouth, and you're probably, I mean, I don't think no one can really doubt me for thinking they're going to be in 16. I mean, Bournemouth, I don't think they're going to be a team that's going to get relegated because they have some decent players to keep them up, so I don't think they're going to get relegated. But I think 16th place is a perfect place to put them at, to be honest. And so yeah. So Crystal Palace, the Roadmen. This is where all the dreadheads decide to go to whenever they want to be a football player. But no, all jokes aside, that I think 15th place is where Crystal Palace is gonna finish. Elise could be leaving. I'm just going off of right now. I think Elise has an injury by the way too, but Elise could be going to either Man City or Chelsea. So I don't really know. They obviously lost Wilfred Zaha, so I don't know, but I think 15th place, I think Crystal Palace are kind of stable enough. They've been in the Prem for a while now. I don't think they're going to get relegated, and I think they're going to survive. For 14th place, I'm going to put Wolves. Now, I honestly think I'm being very fair, and I think I'm going to be correct about this one too when we look back on this on May. I think Wolves are actually going to finish 14th. Now, Everyone knows that Wolves is a bogey team for almost all the big teams. If you're a big team and you're playing Wolves, just know it's not going to be an easy game. But based on that, I think they're going to get some points off the big teams, which will help them, stay stable in the league. So I'm going to say 14 is going to be Wolves. For 13th place, I put West Ham, actually. And obviously, West Ham lost Declan Rice. He's a very, very talented player.
Rice, baby. Rice, baby.
Let's kick it. Rice, baby. Rice, baby. Rice.
And fun fact, actually, I just saw like a few seconds before I hit the record button. West Ham actually have not made a signing. And now I don't really pay attention to West Ham like that because I'm not a West Ham fan. But I would at least thought they, bought someone. At least that's a Declan Rice replacement. But apparently they haven't made a single signing. And I think I know the reason why is because clubs know they have a lot of money and they're probably overcharging them for players that they don't really need to, spend that much on. For 12th place, I went with Fulham. Fulham actually had a very good season last season. They did very good. They finished 10th, which is very good compared. They just got promoted. But I do think, like I said, I don't know if I did say it, but the competition is definitely going to be getting tougher in the Prem. There's new teams. Chelsea's going to bounce back, and I honestly believe that Fulham is just not going to be able to keep up with the other teams. But that doesn't mean they're going to get relegated. They're just going to have a mid-average season, which I think Fulham fans will probably take. And the last team we're going to go with before we go and talk about the top 10 is Brentford. Brentford had an amazing season last season. They finished 9th. They were very good. Ivan Toney was up scoring goals. He was up there. I think he scored like 20 some goals, which was insane. He scored that with Brentford. But with him being banned and Brentford, they're not like, Brentford is not a big club. And the reason why I'm even like putting them down is not because they're shit. It's because when you're a small club, gonna have to compete with bigger teams, and I feel like they're just not gonna be able to get into that top 10 because that top 10 is gonna be competitive. Alright, so it's been a couple of days since I've done the other previous 10 teams, but I'm back now to start with the team I believe that's going to be in 10th place. You're going to be actually very surprised because you haven't heard them this whole video, so you're probably wondering where have I put them. Burnley. Burnley is one of the new promoted teams which did amazing last season in the championship. We already showed them a couple of times, but they had over 100 points in the championship. Vincent Kompany came into that team and absolutely took Burnley to the next level. And I honestly do believe they could finish high. Maybe not higher than 10th, but they're going to be in 10th, that top 10. And I'm pretty sure every new promoted team will take that in a heartbeat. So I think Burnley is going to be in 10th place. Watch out for them. Ain't even gonna lie to you, this is a very controversial one, but for number 9, I went with Brighton FC. Now, everyone's probably gonna be like, no, Brighton are very good, they're not gonna drop down, but here. I'm not saying they're gonna drop off massively. I know last season they finished 6th. Yeah, they finished 6th because they got Europa. Yeah, they finished 6th last season. And they're gonna be losing a couple of players. Well, not a couple, but a few. And those are major players. McAllister has went to Liverpool. Casado, as time starts to, as the transfer market almost comes to an end, I think he might stay. But I think he's gonna leave. We're just gonna go with the impression he's gonna leave. And I feel like once you lose those those players are massive for Brighton. And you don't know what's gonna end. I don't know. I know De Zerbi's good. He had a good first season when he came in, when Potter got sacked. But I do believe that Brighton will just go down a little bit. They'll have a little dip. But I think Brighton is still gonna, be a good team. They're still gonna correspond to the big teams and all that stuff. So for 9th place, well, not for 9th, excuse me, 8th place, this is kind of ironic, but 9th place I went with Spurs. But it's funny because I made a video saying, I think, for 8th place, why I keep saying 9th? For 8th place I went with Spurs. And I made a video last time I made a Spurs video about Harry Kane saying that he should stay with Spurs for one more year. But as time goes on, I realize how stupid I sound. It would be a very stupid decision to stay with Spurs this season. I don't think Spurs are going to do anything special. I do think they're going to be better than last year, even though they're in 8th, but it's mainly because the competition is going to get stronger. So and that's why I said I think Spurs are going to drop down to at least 8. And it's nothing against Spurs, I just don't think they're going to be able to compete with the other teams. For 7th place, I went with Chelsea. And this is actually the improvement for Chelsea. It's not me disrespecting Chelsea at all. I think they're going to get back to a European spot. And that's probably going to be the Conference League. I mean, Chelsea obviously had a very bad year, and they got Pochettino in this year. And I believe Chelsea's going to do some big things this year. I think they're going to bounce back. They're going to forget about what happened last season. And once the players settle in, there's a new manager, and not this whole sacking managers and all that stuff. I think they're now settled, and they're going to stick with one manager, and they're going to do good. They're building a team and all that stuff. They got rid of all the old players as well. So I think Chelsea are going to finish 7th in the league. For 6th place, I went with Aston Villa. Now, hear me out. Aston Villa have actually been busy in the market. They signed Moussa Diaby and some other players too as well. And I think Unai Emery, even when he was at Arsenal, I always thought he was a good manager. I just think Arsenal wasn't the place for him. But he went to Villarreal, and they did well in those European competitions. They won the the Europa League against Man United in the final when Oli was there. And then they won he took Villarreal to the semi-final of the Champions League and almost came back against Liverpool in the 2021-2022 season. So I think Aston Villa are going to have a big year because mainly Unai Emery, and 2, they've been busy in the market. So yeah, I would say look out for Aston Villa as well. Alright, so we're finally at the top 5, the interesting part. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because you guys have already been here long enough. I'm pretty sure this video is like over 10 minutes long. So I'm not going to take too long on this. We're just going to fly by these. So basically in 5th, I chose Newcastle because Newcastle, I think, are going to have a good year, but I don't think they're going to be good enough to stay in the Champions League, mainly because I know people say once Newcastle get in the Champions League, they're never falling out, but I don't think Newcastle's gonna. It's just because the Premier League is so competitive, man. I don't know. I know they signed Tonali and they signed Harvey Barnes from Leicester, but other than that, I haven't really heard anything from Newcastle. And is that really enough to take them to the Champions League? I'm not sure. 4th place, I went with Man United. I mean, yeah, Man United's making some decent signings. They signed Ramos Hojid, they signed Onana, and they signed Mason Mount. These are good signings, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the 3 teams above them, I feel like it's going to do way better than them. Alright, we're on to the final 3, and for 3rd place, I'm going to go with Arsenal. Arsenal have been the most ruthless side out of all the big teams, this whole transfer market. And they literally hold on, let me just tell you the players they got. They got Declan Rice, Julian Timber. They're finna get them another goalkeeper, which I think is gonna be their main goalkeeper. I refuse to believe they're gonna spend $40 million on a goalkeeper and now make him the main goalkeeper. It kind of makes no sense. So I feel like they're finna replace Ramsdale. And then they gone ahead and got Kai Havertz, which is a bit of a questionable transfer market, but I kind of understand it. He thinks he can change Kai Havertz, which he's optimistic. I mean, he's the manager. He has every right to do what he wants to do. But I just feel like Arsenal, even though I put them as 3rd, they're going to have a big year. And I honestly believe they could win a trophy. Now, I know I said them with Spurs, but I actually honestly have come on now. Everyone knows Arsenal has a better chance of winning a trophy than Spurs. Alright, so now for 2nd place, we have Liverpool. Liverpool is probably the only team that can compete with the team that's going to be in 1st place, which is, if you didn't know, Manchester City. Woohoo! Liverpool have always, even though last year they had an off year, but there was still signs that they can, still do big things. It's just, I feel like the midfield just needs a little rebuild. And that's what they're doing now. They went ahead and got McAllister, and they brought in Slabazai from Leipzig. And I honestly do believe that they're going to be doing big things. I'm not going to say too much about Liverpool because everyone knows how good Liverpool are. I don't need to really say much and why I think they're going to be 2nd place. I think most people have put them in 2nd place for their Premier League predictions. And coming into 1st place, it's the most safest bet. It's Manchester City. Manchester City have won the Prem 3 times in a row. They literally 3-peated. They won the treble last year. And they went ahead and signed one of the best young defenders in the world, Josko Gvardiol. And you're telling me they're not going to win the Prem again? Bro, they're winning the Prem. Now, I didn't say Champions League. I said Prem. Champions League's a bit, I don't know. You just have to wait and see how it goes. But Manchester City is the team I think that's gonna win the Premier. I mean, most people know how good Manchester City are, but I honestly believe Manchester City, especially since they have lost a couple of people, I still think they have the ability to just maybe not blow. I don't think it's gonna be as easy because literally Arsenal could have, won the league, but they just handed the title to Manchester City. But I feel like Manchester City are probably gonna, destroy. I mean, it's gonna be hard to break them down with that defense. And yeah, I think Manchester City's gonna win the league. And so yeah, that's my 2023-24 season Premier League predictions. And yeah, so yeah, there's definitely some questionable ones. I don't blame you. And if you feel like, I was a bit harsh or a bit wrong on one team, you can just leave what you would possibly put for your Premier League predictions. The season's about to start, and I wanted to get this video out as quick as I can before I'm too late, but I think I got there just in time. And so yeah, all I have to say is this season is going to be a big season. Hopefully all the players don't go to the Saudi League, since they are very problematic at the moment. But it is what it is, and hopefully we have a good season on our hands. You guys take care. Peace.